Hey everybody, Courtney Smith here with the election bottom line. Let's get right to it here. So first of all, the American people are the winners. Why do I say that? Because we have gridlock. And that's exactly what Americans love. They love gridlock. They talk about how they don't like how the fact that Washington, D.C. is dysfunctional and nothing happens, and yet they always vote for it. Very rarely do they not. The first 2 years of Trump's presidency, the first 2 years of Obama's, the first 2 years of Bush's, but after that, 6 years of gridlock is what the American people wanted. They did not like those 2 years where the president, whoever it was, also controlled Congress. They like to have a split government where nobody can do anything dramatic, where changes are slow. The American people like the status quo. So we've got the gridlock, and that means not any big dramatic moves to the left or to the right or anywhere. No big dramatic movements at all. We're going to have 2 years of doing nothing, and that's exactly what the American people want. How do we know this? They split the ticket. They split the ticket all over the place. So the House is going to remain in Democratic hands, but they've lost at least 6 seats, and some people are saying 10 seats. So it's going to be a weak Democratic House. The Senate will remain in Republican hands, but they've lost at least 1 seat. Don't know if they're going to lose any more than that, but they are now weaker as well. And then the president, well, if you have a split Congress, the president really doesn't have a lot of power. So I sarcastically say, who cares? Obviously we care. But I'm just trying to make the point that the president doesn't have a lot of power unless Congress is on his side. So what can happen? Well, right now, it looks like Biden is ahead as I'm recording this, but Trump's not out of it. So at this point, we technically don't know who the president's going to be. If it's Trump, we're going to get more of what we've had for the last 4 years. That's fairly obvious. But there would be new initiatives that he would do in his second term. He's always said all along that he was going to spend like a drunken sailor. Deficits were going to go sky high, and they have. Even before COVID, they were going sky high. But that after the election, he was going to crunch down and go for a balanced budget. Well, I don't even know that he can if the House is under the control of the Democrats. So that promise is pretty much useless. I think otherwise you're going to see more of what he's already been doing. Biden talked about a scaled down Green New Deal. That's going nowhere. He talked about raising taxes. That's going nowhere. So pretty much his whole policy initiatives are going nowhere. Now, having said that, what he can do is he has some executive authority that he can use. So, for example, let's take environmental regulations. We start with Bush, then we saw Obama sharply increase environmental regulations. Then we saw Obama go back to really just the Bush years. The president, if it's Biden, will increase them back up to where Obama was. So there are regulatory things that presidents can do, but they can't pass law. They can't spend money that isn't there, although Obama did do that. With Obamacare, he spent money that had not been allocated by Congress. That's illegal, and he was caught. But nonetheless, the president, whoever it ends up being, is not going to be very powerful. We will see changes in tone. We're going to see big changes in foreign policy because that's where the president has all authority. Congress has very little authority on foreign affairs. So if Biden wins, we'll go back into the TPP, we'll go back into the Paris Accord and things like that. Now, remember that the Paris Accord was not a treaty. So it was easy to get in, easy to get out because it's a non-binding, we're all happy people, we're going to do good things. The Iranian deal. Will he go back into the Iranian deal? The Iranian deal also was not a treaty. Obama never took those to Congress to get authority to do them. He just did them. Biden probably will do the same thing. We'll probably go back to those Obama policies. And once again, He's not going to take them into Congress, because if he takes them to Congress and really tries to make them a treaty, the Senate's under control of the Republicans and they will not do it. So he's just going to go in and say, okay, we're going to participate in these things, even though we're supposed to go to Congress and make them treaties. We're not going to do that. We're just going to make executive authority. But it'll happen, and he'll get away with it. So that's the state of the political situation. Now, what's going to happen? Let's now talk about making money in the market. So the stock market is going to rally until the end of the year, and it's going to rally on normal seasonal grounds. It's going to continue the rally that it started since the election, because markets like gridlock. And in particular, now they don't have to worry about big tax hikes by Joe Biden. And furthermore, they don't have to worry about trade war with China, because if Joe wins, that'll be the end of the trade war. If Trump wins, we'll continue it. But right now, the betting is that Biden will win, and therefore we're not going to have trade war. So 2 bonuses. Okay, 2 things that the stock market likes: no big tax increase and no trade war. Those are 2 positive things for the stock market. And then, as I say, we have normal seasonality, so that's also bullish. There will be a reduced stimulus bill. We're going to get one. It's going to be very weak, maybe more like $1 trillion. Like, that's weak. Okay, but it's not going to be the $2 trillion that some people wanted before. And actually, the Republicans and Democrats, it was 1.8 bid, 2.2 offer. So you'd think they'd be able to get the deal done at 2, but they didn't. But I think we're going to come in less than 2 for the next stimulus bill. But we're going to get one, and the market likes that too, because it supports economic activity. Or that's what they think it does. And certainly over the short run, it does do that. I think that gold will rally because we're going to see an increase in inflation because of Fed policy, and the Fed will increase more the money supply. So that's going to lead to ideas of inflation. The Fed will also lower interest rates. Higher inflation, lower interest rates means much lower real interest rates, which is the single most important factor affecting the price of gold. So I think gold will finally get out of its own way and start to rally. I'm not calling a big major bull market that I'm going to sell my house and go mortgage everything and go buy gold. No, but we won't be in a bear market anymore. Let's just put it that way. The bond market, I think they're going to go down because of fears of inflation, which will cause higher interest rates. Now, it's not going to be a big bear market for the simple reason that the Fed is going to buy every bond in sight. I'm going to change my son's name to Bond so that the Fed will buy him, and I can pick up a few dollars that way. So bonds are going to go down, but not that much. Inflation will go up, yes, no question, because the Fed wants it to go up, and they'll do anything they can to get to an average of 2%, which means that they're really targeting 3 or 4%. If interest rates stay near 0, that means that real interest rates will drop by up to 3 percentage points, which is a lot. And that would be supercharging the gold market, and it would be destroying the bond market. And then the dollar, I think, is going to do largely nothing because all the other big countries are basically have the same policy of giving away money, handing out $20 bills on street corners. So there's not going to be much difference there. Stimulus is huge everywhere in the world, so not much stimulus there. So we're not going to see too much in the dollar. It's not going to be all that exciting. But what this all means, let me wrap it up here. We can make a lot of money here. We can make a lot of money in the stock market, bond market, gold market, probably not so much in the dollar. So 3 good markets. I'd say bonds will be the weakest of the markets. It's not going to do too much. But stocks are going to do very, very well. And gold has the potential. We need to watch it closely, but it also has the potential to go into a major bull market, $500 an ounce or something like that. All right, everybody. We'll check you out later. Thanks.